Should I put up the I'm so tired. Okay. Hi, chat. Um, so we've had a very generous donation from Thundar. Thank you so much, Thundar, for $500. And the message is happy grub noises. Oh no, did you hear me say I'm so tired? But I'm so excited for the rest of the runs that we have. But thank you again to Thundar for that incredible donation. We are sitting at Um, $3,560 today. Well, 3,560 overall. And that's over 3K just today from Grub Day. And I was going to mention that a poll is live and that you should vote in the poll to pick our charm order for Spurko. But the poll just ended, so thank you to everyone that voted. But yes, speaking of Spurko, we're going to get everybody over in this VC and get started on a Salubra's Blessing random charm order race/showcase in just a few minutes. It looks like we've got option 2 selected. I have no idea what's in option 2, but I hope you picked some content for us, chat. I trust chat has done good content. But now that we've got the voting wrapped up, I think we can move to getting everybody in the right place. Can I move comms in? Oh, no worries, no worries. I can keep talking if I need. Um, so chat. What do I love about grubs? Good question. Sorry, I'm I woke up before 7 a.m. and now it's 9 p.m. and we We've got 2 runs to go, which I'm so excited about because we met all of our donation goals. Um, I love that grubs are so cute. I love that they bring people so much joy. I love that there's not just 1 grub in Hollow Knight, there's 46 of them. So, like, you don't just get to rescue 1 grub one time, you get to rescue 46 grubs. Um, and that's amazing. What part of Grub Day has been most exciting for me? I mean, I said earlier, I think that my one of my favorite runs was the who percent glitch set relay. Um, so that was really cool to see. I feel like you don't often get to see a run done the same way in 3 different rule sets. Um, so cool, especially seeing AG plus versus NMMS versus NMG. So that's what I would say. If I were a grub, which grub would I want to be? Um, I mean, my favorite grub is Sports Room Grub, and I think that's the one I would want to be as well. I feel like there's something about being, high up near Moss Prophet. The Sports Room has good vibes. There's a Mr. Mushroom tablet there. Um, yeah, I think so. Have I thought about crocheting a grub? I have thought about crocheting a grub. I really want to, and I actually have yarn for it, believe it or not. Um, if I was an egg, which egg would I be? Ooh. Hmm. Oh, blue lake egg. Blue lake egg. Yeah. Yeah, let's all crochet grubs together, chat. Let's do a grub make along. I think I'm gonna get the commentators in here. Oh, what was that? Sorry. Oh. Oh, great. Yeah, whenever. Let me get comms in. Reminder to share screen. Welcome, welcome to our wonderful commentators, Masso and May. How you doing?
Oh, hello. I'm doing well.
Yeah, doing good. Feeling
Great.
rested, feeling rejuvenated.
Nice.
and
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, ready to yap. We love to hear it. So I'm handing it over to the two of you. With one more reminder that we are raising money for the ACLU, so every donation gets you entered to win one of 13 amazing raffle prizes. And you can donate using the link in chat. And thank you so much to everybody who's donated so far today. We really appreciate it. With that, comms, take us away.
All right.
All right.
So I am Masso. I am joined by May,
Hello.
and we're going to see some Salubra's Blessing random charm order. This is in Grub Day because Elegy's a charm. You need all of the grubs for this.
Yeah. Do we want to count our runners down, I think, or at least get some readies? And then we
Yeah,
can
sure.
probably explain kind of the decision making that we'll be seeing
Yeah.
during the initial kind of phase.
Yes. Well, we get our runners ready up. I just wanted to mention, before we get started with any of this, that both of our runners have already been making excuses to me about this. Birdie said to me, let's see, I've given Vex way too much help, so if he wins, I'm still a winner. Vex was even... I'm not going to make fun of Vex for the wrist pain. That's more serious. But QOL, come on. That just sounds like a skill issue to me.
Cool. Alright, so everyone should be getting underway soon. Also, just a quick note. Using the Hidden Dreams title theme, both of them, which is crazy. I've seen, like, all of 2 people that use it, and they're both on my screen right now.
Yeah, I do not use this theme.
Yeah, the LP I use the Void Heart theme, and then 1221 it's the Grim theme, and that's like it. Okay, we have a third Hidden Dreams appreciator from Ria there. But yeah, so I guess I can explain that this is Salubra's Blessing random charm order. So this is getting all of the charms in the game in a specific order. Now, the order we've got, it's automatically vetted to make sure that it's possible, and there's also some general, like, some charms will be biased early, some charms will be biased late. I think Elegy is, like, basically hard required last.
Yeah, Elegy isn't hard required last, but it is almost always going to be one of the very last charms that shows up.
Yeah, and like...
So seeing it last in all 3 of the orders that we voted on was not too surprising.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Hand of Fate was slightly tipped, just to kind of fit with the theme of the event a little there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this order specifically has Sharp Shadow first, so we're going to see very little of the like routing and early charms that we might normally, and it's just going to be getting progression, getting our movement items, and then we're going to start actually doing charm routing. And then right after that we have Nailmaster's Glory. So again, that's just going to be more having to route in like progression. But it's kind of nice once that's done. We should see a lot of really interesting routing choices that can be made.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Claw, Dash, Crystal Heart, for sure, all within the first 2 charms. So those are going to be pretty slow, but once we get those, it's going to pick up quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, depending on how much you do, I wouldn't be surprised to see wins, just because, if nothing else, it makes getting back to base a lot easier. From when you're there getting Shade Cloak, and I think that's just really nice to have. Just gives you a lot of access there later. Also, something worth mentioning is that Flukes is so late on this seed. Oh my lord, this sucks.
Fluke Marm is incredibly late, much to the chagrin of Fluke enjoyers.
Yeah, which I believe Vex is.
Well, we also can see Hive Blood is pretty late, and we all know that Vex is a Hive enjoyer. So...
True. We've got a surprisingly early King Soul, I think. Normally that's one of those ones that is kind of required to be a good bit later, so... Third row's
This is a decently early King Soul. One thing I would like to mention as well is that Dream Wielder is pretty early. It's the 10th charm on the list. And once we get Dream Wielder, we can get Dreamgate, which I expect to see both of our runners do right then, because Dreamgate is just so helpful for routing.
I expect we're gonna see killing full sight, but yep, looks it. Yeah, just the early geo is really important, with how much of the map we're gonna have to access for everything coming up. And we're probably gonna be fighting Failed Champ later for the essence anyway.
Yeah.
I love that comms has been becoming a combo of late sleepers and Australians. So I had commentary at 12, then I slept for, commentary from 12 to 2:30. Then I slept for 3 hours. Then I had the plando from 6 to 9, roughly. Then I slept for 3 hours, and now I've got commentary for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Great.
I frequently work night shifts, so I'm used to staying up at ungodly hours.
Yeah, next race will be the early riser EU.
Yep.
Also worth mentioning, while I've been to bed 3 times, half of the people organising it in that have been up the entire time. So shout-outs to the organisers, because, oh my lord, I would be running on fumes at this point.
Yeah, I would be running on the fumes' fumes.
Yeah. And yeah, pretty basic early game at the moment, which is where I was hoping for option 3, just because there'd be some slightly more flexibility in the early game decision making. But, oh well, we're not going to see a Soul Catcher early control because we're not allowed to get Soul Catcher yet.
Yep. We're gonna have to come back to that one later. Not that much later, it's only Charm 8, but...
Yeah, and yeah, there's some interesting decision making we'll probably see, and I expect that we're gonna see a kind of dive early game, just because that 1xx style initial setup is really efficient, and it gives us access to all the things we're gonna need to have later. It does mean we're coming back for Spell Twister very, very late, but also we're gonna have to do that anyway because King Soul is so much earlier. So unless you're doing all of the essence except for Tyrant and then coming back for it, you're gonna have to come back anyway. And with all the shortcuts open, if you have wings, it's pretty quick to get back.
Spell Twister is actually after King Soul, looking at the order.
Yeah.
So
Unless your 1800 essence is like everything but Tyrant.
yeah, if it's everything but Tyrant, like, you might end up triple dipping Sanctum, which sounds like a bad time to me.
No, I mean everything but Tyrant, because then you cut a dip. Because if you do early dive, you're not gonna do Tyrant, then you're gonna do nail of damage. So you just skip Tyrant this whole seed and do early dive, and then do Twister at the end.
This definitely looks like a... I don't think we'll be seeing Tyrant. Alright. Believe we got both the first fireball skips. I think Vex and Birdie did not get the second one. I know Birdie didn't go for it because not enough soul. I didn't see if Vex went for it and missed it or just didn't go for it.
And then they both had an unfortunate Manpogo there, but it's alright. We call it soul conservation for later. They just knew they were going to save so much time not having to gather soul here that it was going to cancel out not doing the fireball skip. And you should see his own save. Ooh. And the other reason why I think we'll see an early dive is just you do need that C-dash, and doing that with Lantern instead of dive is very expensive.
For sure.
One-time money.
For runs like this, where you need to be flexible with getting stags early, we're going to be seeing this Green Path stag get purchased on both sides because it takes forever to get back over here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay. I was going to comment on Vex not getting this when he was on his way to the stag, but he got it on the way back. Yeah, relics are another thing where it's just like really good to get as many as you can because we're going to be buying basically everything. And in a way, it's kind of a blessing that Sharp Shadow's so early because we can get that Shade Cloak Arcane in, and that's going to just allow us a lot more freedom in our purchases.
That is true. I can't remember the last time I've seen an Arcane Egg actually get sold in a speedrun context.
Gotta be a 107 in Java. Or like 112 or 106, but yeah, they're just Mickey Mouse 107. Right, and that is a cloak and quit out for Vex. And
Bernie's going to be taking this pretty safe. Down to 2 HP. Don't want to take any extra damage that you don't need to.
Yeah, for sure. And Cloak is kind of one of the most punishing deaths, period. So, fully understandable not wanting to die in this split. And just before we
For
get
sure.
there, everything is so slow.
I think it's slightly less punishing having both Crossroads and Green Path stag, but it's still terrible.
Yeah. Vex benching at Leg Eater, which is... Oh, yeah, that'd be for, Thingamajigger. Going in through City Crestway. Just it's easier and the same speed as the climb out. I'm a little surprised we didn't see a Ogres just for the notch, but we might see that after Claw.
Yeah, I would expect to see that after Claw.
Our first charms kind of stink. We do have Shaman, Catcher, Eater all in the first row, and being able to quit at least Shaman and then one of those is really nice. Yeah,
most definitely.
Dreamgate, Dreamwielder will just be so good. We play so many Dreamgates in this category, especially because our routing won't necessarily be fully optimal, so having Dreamgates to kind of put a band-aid on any routing mistakes you've realized you've made is really nice.
So Vex opening up that lever and not saving the grub. Seems...
This vexes me.
I am also confused by it. Did Vex save the grub? If Vex saved the grub, I didn't see it. It would make more sense. Okay.
Wow, gaslighting. And should climb out. Oh, so this is, yeah, going to be the tram pass. Yeah. This is the other way into city that makes a lot of sense for this route, I think. Because with the Sharp Shadow, we do need... Never mind.
Okay.
Just doing that. Okay. I still think that this is the correct play. I think, yeah, City Crest was the best city entrance because we don't really care about right side as opposed to left all that much. So yeah, I think the and then yeah, seeing the charm notch here. So overall, I really agree with the route that both runners have taken so far, and it's much easier for us to think about it on commentary because we're not trying to focus on playing the game.
For sure.
Is this a low percent seal? I'm guessing low percent seal and maybe a Queen Station stag.
I would be shocked if we didn't see a Queen Station stag. Queen Station stag is incredibly helpful. It's very central. It's good for getting into Deep Nest and for getting into Queen's Gardens.
Yeah, definitely. Kings, Queens, Green Path, Storms. There's so many just like really good stags, and I imagine it'll be where we see a lot of our money going towards.
For sure.
Is Vex a bingo, like vanilla bingo enjoyer?
I haven't seen Vex do much vanilla bingo, although I honestly can't be sure.
Yeah, just this has been basically play for play, one of the vanilla bingo early games. So I'm wondering if there's some big brain communication here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities between this and vanilla bingo anyways. Just with often having to come back places with equipment that you normally wouldn't have in a speedrun. So...
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like I say, this kind of early game is pretty stock standard, but the where it differs from 107 or like 1XX early games is the things like the early stag and that. It's because our route isn't like, because of obviously having to get all the charms in a specific order, we can't as much full clear an area, next area, full clear an area, next area, full clear an area. So since we're going to be coming back to most places like 2-3 times more than a normal speedrun would, that's why we're going to see like a bigger weight placed on stags.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to be backtracking through the same areas a couple of times.
Hi Quirrell, bye Quirrell. And Birdie basically doing the same thing, getting that low percent seal, getting the Queen Station stag, I believe.
Yeah, this looks like a Queen Station stag to me.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I assume that Birdie will also be going in through City Crafts, but for the sake of the content, it'd be kind of cool if we saw a tram pass.
Okay.
So it looks like Birdie is going back to Dirtmouth, possibly getting the well seal.
Makes sense. I'm curious. Just as I'm looking, I'm starting to appreciate the value of early tram pass because it means that we can go from Abyss to Sharp Shadow really easily.
It most definitely does.
Anyway, so you hidden stag to Queens, and then if that's your first clear through Deep Nest, you're not actually losing any time, and then you still get dive. Alright. I think it's one of those ones where this, like, City Crest early game is faster, just the tram pass one feels cooler and it's different, and so I am drawn to it because you're not just doing the same early game.
So Birdie is walking all the way back through Crossroads and Fungal after getting the relic. I'm pretty sure that stagging back to Queen Station is faster.
Yeah, I'm guessing just forgot to get the leg eater bench.
Yeah, like if you forget to get that bench, I still think going back is from Queen's Station is faster because you've opened up the gate. So you can just go by the bouncy grub.
Yeah, probably. Something else different Vex here. Not seeing the early control, which fair enough.
Yeah, we can't actually get early control with QOL because of the faster bosses.
Then very fair.
Yeah. It's fair because it's the only possible option. Alright, Birdie making their way into City as Vex finishes off Soulmaster Phase 1.
Alright, perfect Soulmaster pattern. Vex not getting into the spot? This is so sad. Baited me, went up there and then just didn't even go for it. But that was a really clean Soulmaster.
Yeah. Alright, Vex getting this Geo here, which is unsurprising. Vex going to pick this up. Yes.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And then... I'm a right side faked, I'm preferring. Alright, and does the movement with the lever pogo there. It's so cool. It saves bugger all, but it's cool, so it's subjectively better.
True. Vex going to be giving Birdie a high five right at the start of Sanctum here.
So there's about 90% of a Sanctum between us, but that can change quite easily, be it with mistakes or with later on a really creative routing choice from Birdie.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we're going to be able to... There's going to be much of that opportunity. Just with this charm order.
Yeah. Sharpshooter first is really rough for that. It just, like, forces you to play fairly well to a script, because there's not that much you need to set up anyway. And then you just go around following the charms. We'll probably see some variance in when things like Essence is done, but beyond that, assuming both runners are looking ahead a couple of charms, so like they're getting the nail arts and that when they're in the neighborhood, then I don't think we'll see tons of divergence.
Cornfield, thank you for the $25 donation.
I was just popping in to say that. Thanks, Masso.
Huge. We were at like $400 prior to today, right?
Yeah, about $450.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is... Oh wait, no, I can't read. So we're already at 3,000 today. You should tell us that it was actually 650 that was raised beforehand, and then I can spread this information to achieve good.
True. But hey, wouldn't it be cool if we hit 4K raised overall today?
True, we should hit 4K
There's still
overall.
time.
And then after that, we should hit 4K reads today. And then after
Yeah.
that, we should hit 4.5K overall.
That is indeed how numbers work. Number go up.
Phase 2 for birdie here. They also got a pretty good pattern. Phase 2.
Birdie cutting it a little close there, but we're fine.
Vex doing the grandpa movement there. Leave to deep focus, we will be back.
Yeah, Vex also getting this King's Idol. So, collecting all these relics tells me that Vex is almost certainly going to get Lantern at some point. Which I suppose makes sense. No Eyes is a good 200 essence that you cannot get without Lantern.
Yeah, and it's just nice.
It's certainly nice for going through Dark Deep Nest.
I also think with the Tyrant skit, No Eyes is probably pretty nice. It's probably not one of the ones you want to skip. I think
Yeah, for sure.
probably want to skip Zote or White Defender. Actually, not an or. You want to skip.
Yeah, you want to skip both of those.
Yeah. White Defender, I think, if you have to do it, you want to do it in Godhome, just because Dreamers are terrible.
Does killing White Defender for the first time in Godhome give you the essence?
Oh, never mind.
I'm like, wait a
I'm
second.
so used to just, kill White Defender the goal instead of, we actually need to kill him for essence.
I understand the rando brain rot entirely.
In that case, rough. Surely a third trip to Sanctum is more worth than having to do Watcher Knights and Umu and Beastin. I mean, you have to do Beastin anyway, but also then the Hera cutscene.
I think if you do all of the Warrior Dreams and all of the other Dream bosses, besides the ones we've mentioned, so you do Lostkin, you do Failed Champ. I think there's one I'm forgetting.
So there's Failed Champ, Lostkin, that's 700 straight away. What's the other Dream boss with it? I feel like I'm forgetting one. No, we're skipping Tyrant. Yeah, if we want to skip 3 Dream bosses. Rough. So there's that for 700. There is Markoth and Mamu for 400.
450. Markoth is 250.
Yeah, and Mamu's 150, so that's 4.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then there's
No Eyes Galeon is another 400.
No Eyes, which is Galeon, which is
Puts us at 1500. And there's the 3 100 Warrior Dreams.
Yeah. So that's 18, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think that's the go, and then you just do a route or two to make up your Dream Gate use.
Yeah.
Just, doing any of those 3 Dream bosses we mentioned just kind of sucks. I think, depending on how bad you strand some of the Dream Warriors like Markoth, it's almost debatable, but because Quick Slash is... and Quick Slash is after King Song, so going back to Markoth also sucks.
Yeah, going back for
Markov
Markov is pretty rough.
Yeah, but Markov's also 250, so like it's a pretty direct would you rather do Markov or Soul Tyrant, and as much as getting to Markov's about the same, you then have to kill Soul Tyrant.
Yeah, that Soul Tyrant fight is
slow.
extremely slow. In addition to getting there, which is extremely slow.
Yeah. And Tyrant's also one of those ones where like a fast Tyrant's pretty good, pretty cool, you feel great. And then the Tyrant that just hates you sucks, and you lose a minute, and you cry.
Vex making it through the dark room very cleanly. I wish I had that much confidence doing the dark room that way.
Yeah. But yeah, we're at least getting to the kind of pointy end of our early progression collection. And Vex is on 11 grubs, which is another thing that we need to keep an eye on. Just you don't want to leave everything to do right at the end, otherwise it's just wasting a ton of time.
For sure. Grubs are... The grubs you can do in any order you want. So, we're going to be seeing a lot of those just picked up the first time through, most likely.
Yeah, for sure. And Birdie on 8 grubs there, so I imagine that Birdie's going to be on basically the same amount of grubs later. Did we see
Thank you.
Vex do crown grub? Am I hallucinating?
I did see Vex do Crown Grub. It's faster to do it now.
Yeah, because only thing we're going back for is deep focus, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice Birdie. I love that C-dash animation.
Oh, is Birdie going for Crystal Guardian?
The big Giro.
You know, I've never heard Crystal Guardian referred to that way, but you're not wrong.
Of course I'm not wrong. I don't...
It's usually about as difficult as a Georock.
Yeah. For 420 Rock and Edge, like he, with gear, takes longer to kill anyway.
So I do think doing CG1 here is a little questionable. Especially if you're already going to be... Well, you're going to be selling the lemon again because you need to buy charms and all of the notches from Salubra.
Yeah, the scenarios where I can see a CG1 is if you had to do it early resting ground, so you're not then following through with Dreamnail and everything, and you then wanted to get the mint grub on the way out. Or if you had any deep focus, I could also see it, but in this scenario, it just doesn't save enough time to be warranted, in my opinion. And
Vex going and saving Sly. Yes, you do need the notches because Salubra's Blessing will not appear in her shop unless you have all of the charm notches from her. So it's not a requirement of the run as defined by the run, but it's a requirement to get Salubra's Blessing at all. Alright, Vex is going to be heading down into Right City. I expect to see him go to Edge and take care of Hornet 2.
Yep.
you do only need charms for the blessing, but her blessing will not appear in the shop unless you've purchased all of her notches specifically. The other notches don't matter, but you need to buy all of hers.
Also, are we gonna see Nancy in this skip?
I hope so.
I assume this is a seal from Vex, and he's gonna head to them himself.
I would be more inclined to want to sell here with Defender's Crest.
Sell when you're doing Defender's
Yeah, when you're going and doing Defender's Crest.
Don't know how you're selling with Defender's Crest, but
yeah, you're not selling to love with Defender's Crest on. That doesn't work.
No, this was just a getting elegant key, and I assume Shade Soul for Edge, and just generally Shade Soul is really good.
Yes, Shade Soul is definitely quite good to have.
Yeah. I'm sad Flukes are late, but Shade Soul is still just like by far the most versatile spell. Because while we have D-Dark, we have to kill so many Dream Warriors and stuff that D-Dark's just going to be wholly unusable for.
Exactly. Shade Soul, especially with Shaman Stone, which we're going to get before we need any essence requirements, is so much better for not only all of the warrior dreams, but also for Failed Champ.
I need to be in a race with Birdie and Vex so that in my stream layout I can have the little May 2023 versus blah 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 that I had for the other races I've done recently, because I have such good ones for Birdie and Vex.
So the buggy not cooperating perfectly well for Birdie, but still getting the skip.
Classic buggy, honestly.
Doesn't want to cooperate. I mean, that's just Crystal Hunters for you.
Yeah. Vex, gonna Lemcell here. Which, yeah, I kind of agree with you, Masso. I think that this was just as easily done when you're doing Defender's Crest, and he had enough money that he could easily afford all the stags he was going to be buying a few times over. So it's not like he's allowing himself to do other routing things, unless he's going to take a lantern here, which... Okay, so there's some indecision there from Vex. Very fair. Oh, Apress asking if Birdie left Sea Mountain too early, which if the buggy skip was a little wonky, may have been the case.
It's very possible.
Devastating.
That would be, yeah, that would be extremely unfortunate.
Oh,
Birdie in chat saying they got the sea symbol.
Wonderful.
Alright, so Vex going for ACN skip here.
And a what from there? And that's low, yeah. That's good. Not when you do that.
Looks like my ACN skips.
Yeah.
Birdie just proving, yes, I have D-Dark. What are you all worried about?
And Vex quitting out and doing it again. At this point, I think going around was faster. But, yeah. To become the rare Vex defender, this is a very hard skip, and you can't option select it as easily in the same way that you can QGA. And getting that dash under there to get the really high C dash and not bonking his head once. Vex is just built different. That is so much harder than it looks. 80% of my health lost on ACN skit is dashing into the wall too high and then just dunking with no recourse.
Alright, so we're going to be wrangling this Aspid up here. And taking the safety bench, I do not blame him.
Yeah.
It's barely any time lost.
But...
And if you die, having to walk all the way back, do the ACN skip again, is quite slow. And extremely painful. Birdie doing a televator just to show off.
The world's shortest televator at that.
Birdie's like, this isn't faster, and I don't care that it's not faster.
I know, it's accidental, didn't save time, clearly unintended, so minor glitch. Just getting good mileage out of the D-Dark here, which absolutely should.
Yeah.
And this is a good example of why flukes are busted though. Because I had to fight Norman 2 in my race today, and my Norman 2 fight lasted 1 pogo and 2 flukes. Lean double here on Hornet 2.
Alright, and GG's for Hornet 2 for Vex.
Yeah, just GG's. That's it. Vex just got all the charms really quick while you weren't looking.
Yep. Alright, Birdie doing the same thing. Although Birdie also purchased Lantern when getting E-Key. So I don't hate this nearly as much.
Also, did we mention the $25 from stuck in a cornfield?
Yes, we did.
We did? Cool. Then, oh wow, 3585, we're so close to 3600, which is, until we meet it, my favorite number. So you should all donate, unless you hate me in particular.
Look, remembering things is hard, okay?
I knew that we had a donation and we had a conversation about it, I just wasn't sure if it was that one. Just 3585, I thought we were a lower 35.
Okay, so Vex getting dash slash while we're here makes a ton of sense.
I'm also running on, like, forests.
Yeah. That's all I have to say.
It's fine. It's just giving me ye old rando nostalgia. Is it really a tournament race if it's not at 3 AM?
True.
Oh, Birdie guessing the correct grub there. Second try. Pretty good. Locust would be proud.
So, looks like we have a bit of a route divergence here. Birdie is going into Deep Nest.
Yes,
probably going to be getting that tram pass.
Yeah, I approve of this message. I think that's really good. Is it better? Possibly not, but I like it. Vex on his way to Collector?
Opening up the shortcut to get to Collector later. Because you have to exit edge anyways. from Hornet 2, so now's the best time to do it.
Did Vex get Dash Slash? I assume so with 2400 spent.
Yeah, Vex got Dash Slash.
Cool. So he's thinking ahead, which is good. And then this is probably the deep nest play from Vex. And a little bit of safety marshard. Yeah, so I think getting to Abyss through Trampass is really smart. And so it's good to see both runners doing that. Just because it shows a bit of forethought. You're not just thinking about, well, next I need to get Shade Cloak. You're thinking, okay, well, after Shade Cloak, I need to go to Sharp Shadow, so I might as well do this. Vex missing Mimic. Also, special shoutouts to the Zagnite skin bird he's using. It is probably my favorite, and when I remember to have custom night set up, is definitely the one I go for.
Yeah, this chat is saying this is tame for Birdie at this point. Birdie and I have done a 2-player, 1-controller with Lifeblood Core as the first charm. This is fine.
God. More people need to live in Australia so I can do 2-player, 1-controller things. Or 2-player, 1 keyboard, because it's better. And nice movement there from Vex. Clearly this guy runs something that gets Trampass early. And so he's familiar with this movement. Can't imagine what that might be. Certainly not High of Blood.
Okay, so Birdie is doing Alien. I would assume that we're going to see a DV Stag after this. And maybe take that to Crossroads Stag?
Yeah. Yeah, the DV Stag does set up for something, nothing, really, kind of.
Weaver Song.
Oh, Weavers, yeah. Also, Rhea, before I realized in my head that Smarto was your cat, I was very confused.
Alright, so Vex is now going into Dark Deep Nest.
Yes, this is where Birdie will have an edge, and just having that lantern.
Yeah. Also worth noting that Vex is coming up this way and doing Galeon first, which means we're probably going to see a quit out after Trampass.
Yeah, I imagine so. Getting the lifeblood for it, which on 2 health is very understandable.
Yeah, very understandable.
Yo, and the Dream Nail drop, hell no.
Vex, come on. I can at least respect continually going for it.
Is Vex a controller runner?
I don't remember, honestly. I think Vex is a controller runner.
It looks it. Vex is now keyboard. There we go.
What do you have to say to that, May?
Just keyboard better. Like, it's 2 buttons. You just press them one after the other.
It's also 2 buttons on controller.
Yeah, but if you're like an analog stick user, then like, yeah, it's more ambiguous where left starts, sort of thing.
But consider D-pad. Also,
yeah, I think anyone who's using analog stick for Hollow Knight should consider D-pad. You're right.
Consider this: the 2 buttons are better on keyboard than the 2 buttons on controller.
Yeah, you're not using your thumb for 4 of the buttons on keyboard.
Who's even selling controllers with good D-pads? That is the better question, honestly.
I've got a controller with a really good D-pad. It's like split D-pad, so it's not all that one piece.
Oh
Instead,
yeah.
it's like 90-something little pieces, and they're all arranged on a rectangle. And then because it's arranged that way, you can actually use like all your fingers to press the little pieces. It's so much better.
Alright, so Birdie is going and getting wings now. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we have not seen a Hornet 2 from Birdie.
I think you're right, yeah. So this is going to be the avoiding ACN skip. And because... yeah, I donate this because, like, you're not actually losing that much time. I think it's quite possibly faster in this case, just because Vex did have that couple of issues with ACN skip.
Yeah, for a no reset event like this one, it's definitely very understandable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I would probably be making the same call.
I was about to say, Vex, you better go get that grub. You need it. I swear I've taught Birdie the timing for the Sea Dash to get through those bubbles pretty much instantaneously.
Yeah, but that's not as much content. And this is a lost one from Birdie. Birdie didn't get Shade Soul, right?
Birdie did.
No, wait, Birdie did, yeah.
Yeah, Birdie got Shade Soul on the way to Salubra.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see a Staggerlock fight here, so we should see a Pogo. No Pogo. Yeah. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about, clearly. We are not going to see a Staggerlock fight.
I was about to say, you assume that we are better than we are. And
The thing about the Staggerlock fight is I think that the Shade Soul triples is faster, so it's not necessarily assuming you're better, it's just assuming that you're the exact level of adequate that I am, because if you're any better, you're probably not doing it, and if you're any, like, just don't have the, like, knowledge, then you won't do it because you don't know it. It's just that I assume everyone lives in that little sweet spot.
Vex, meanwhile, on Broken Vessel, looking for doubles, but there aren't any home.
But yeah, for people fighting Lostkin at home, one, you shouldn't be fighting Lostkin at home. It is a video game character. But two, after a stagger, if you pogo D-Dark and then do like 3 or 4 nail hits, it'll stagger again. And you've made up the soul of the D-Dark, and you can just loop that infinitely. And
Oh no!
No,
That's a
that
death.
was so late. Oh.
Yeah. Chat pointing out that it is much easier to get doubles if you have Shaman Stone. I can't argue against that. That is true.
Imagine if BB or Lostkin gained the last build you had if they kill you. Okay, but imagine if we could steal Lostkin's dumbass jump attack. Because that is the most powerful single attack in the game. Imagine if you could just jump across the room.
Okay. I will say that's probably second most powerful. The most powerful is Trader Lord walking forward into you.
As soon as you said that's the second most, I'm like, Trader Lord walk. I also think the Hornet 2 parrying in your face and you just lose is also up there.
Yeah, that's a rude one as well. Alright, so we're seeing some simultaneous lost kin here. Vex getting a bit of a slidey not Trader Lord. Lost kin. Apparently someone put soap on the floor. Probably shouldn't do that.
We need a little slippery floor hazard sign that we can just put in there.
True. Yes, this is the latest patch. And both are runners getting Lost King kills at about the same time.
Yep, and a good death walk from both of them. And then we can see the grub. And yeah, doing wings and then Lostkin was faster since it was walking out and getting the grub. And because... Actually, no, I can't defend this. This is just slower. But it's fine.
Birdie realizing, wait, I don't have wings yet. We are perceiving.
A friendly rivalry manifesting between the runners.
Oh, it's not manifesting. It's been around for a while. Part of why I was so excited to do commentary for this is because I know how these two are. But I mean, I could genuinely see forgetting wings after a Lost Kin fight, especially if you've already taken a death. You're just relieved to get through the fight. You're like, okay, just move on to the next thing. And you just think you already have wings.
Did Birdie not get the toll bench? Is that why we're walking out here?
We're about to find out.
Correct. So just wanted the that one instead, I guess.
Probably just wanted a little bit of extra geo.
Yeah, Birdie is running a little lighter on geo, especially considering they have sold already. So fair enough, but yeah, just fair enough. Again, it's so much easier to be routing things when you're not also having to play the game.
Oh, for sure.
Also, the C-dash animation on Vex's screen is so good that, a whole night, like, rocking back and forth. The, like, only skin I've really seen that does that.
I mean, both these skins are fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
Vex picking up that Arcane Egg. Birdie is going to be paying Hornet 2 a visit. See here. Are we just getting this grub first, or are we going to be going all the way to Isthmus?
Surely it's just the grub. And then heading to Edge.
Okay,
like,
it is indeed just the grub.
Yeah. Surely we just get an Isthmus-less seed.
Look, the RGO run earlier today was already Isthmus-less.
Hell yeah. I mean, Shape of On is late enough that it could be. Also, like, we have Sharp Shadow, so it's looking not that bad. And nice asset. There we go. Hell yeah.
Yeah, chat pointing out that we don't have any charms yet, nearly an hour in. That's the Sharp Shadow first experience for you.
Abyss Climb from Vex, you'll love to see it. This is your sign. Yes, you in chat. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. You should do Abyss Climb ILs and submit them. It's really fun and really cool. And it also filters you if you're a controller player.
I'm like, what's the motive here? What's the ulterior motive?
I mean, the motive is just I really like Abyss Climb.
I mean, that's fair. That's a good question. That's a good question, Oat. Can we get another commentator in here?
The hell?
I'm just kidding.
Slander. I take offense to this, FF. I was Chicky before Chicky was Chicky. Back in my day, Abyss Climb ILs were done on the modded boards.
Thank you for making me feel new to this community.
Gotta look out for something. If you want a real back in my day, the modded boards didn't exist.
Alright, 57 minutes and 36 seconds in. We finally have our first charm for Vex.
GG, Sharp Shadow. This is just like my casual playthrough. The Sharp Shadow was also my first charm.
Mm-hmm, yep, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty stock standard.
Vex, you need to pick one. There are 2 nail masters that you need to get nail arts from. Just get one. And Vex did equip Sharp Shadow. Begrudging respect for that.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that Dash Master's so late. It does speed things up nicely. Oh my god, you're right, Blossom. I can't believe I forgot to put the video on that run. This is why I got fired. I'm told that that Great Slash Gauntlet, when Tremon was doing it today, had a giant grub. A giant mimic.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, It's always funny being the runner for the Plandos when Karma's just cooked up something terrible / brilliant, because if you're not the one doing it, you're just hearing this frantic secondhand retelling of it, and it's like, I need to go back and watch the video for this. This sounds brilliant. I was very glad that I didn't have to be the one to fight the super boss.
I have been traumatized by Grub-Plando Super Boss, so... Not that one, but the other one. Oh no, Birdie.
Oh no. I assume took the safety bit. No. Oh. What was the other Grub-Plando Super Boss? I don't think I was around.
Porter.
Oh! No, I was around for that, but Quado had to fight it. Shoutouts to my quote.
I think... Are you thinking of a different Plando? Because I think
Maybe.
that the one I'm thinking of, it was me and Oko versus Blossom and A-Press, and A-Press did Porter first try, and I chained I do it for like 5 minutes.
Alright, then it must have been... No, I'm thinking of... the HK7. Why I think then? I don't know. Either way, I'm very glad I didn't have to fight a worse version of Collector, because the regular version of Collector is plenty enough for me. HK7I was Bretter Lords? Yeah, I remember that, because that's the one I actually had to do.
Okay, it was someone in A-Press who did the Porter one. We add a Bretter Lord every HKXY.
Okay, but...
You know,
next
some
year...
traditions can die. That's okay.
No, next year when there's Silksong, clearly the first modded Silksong Plando needs to have Predator Lords in it as well. The interdimensional Predator Lords.
Vex getting its second charm in Nailmaster's Glory.
Brilliant. And yeah, things should really start speeding up on the charm front now, just because we've done all of that setup. And then, yeah, Defender's Crest, kill a guy. Sprint Master, spend some money. Strength, spend some money. Actually, Vex is gonna need to sell, because... yeah, so we'll see an Arcane Egg sell here, I imagine, because Strength and Sprint Master are both pretty expensive.
Yep. GG's for Birdie on Hornet 2.
And looks like we're going to see Birdie doing the Tower of Love opening up as well, which is nice.
Yep. Vex going to quickly grab this grub. It's also worth noting that if runners are running low on Geo and don't want to sell the Lem, they can stop by Grubfather and get a good chunk of Geo that way.
Yeah, definitely. On the grub front, actually, it's worth mentioning, while Vex is ahead on charms, Birdie is up 3 grubs, which is a small edge. I'm gonna see a dash scream skip. No! Oh, I can't believe Vex is a fraud. This is so sad.
Well, the Grubfather rewards do take a while to be given out. You have to wait for all of the rewards to be tossed out anyway for Elegy.
Is QL speed that up? Or is
Dung Defender?
No, Grubfather.
Oh, Grubfather, it's a rando thing.
And
QL definitely does not speed that up.
I know what Vex is going to use the Grubfather time for anyway. Just slandering.
He better be using it for wrist stretches.
Yeah, he's stretching his hands by typing hateful messages in chat.
Birdie, those Void Tendrils don't like you very much. Just saying.
Alright, and there's idle. But yeah, doing a lot to rectify the money situation then. And we're gonna see.
I'm surprised we're not just seeing a save quit here from Vex.
Yeah. Oh, getting Ismas now?
This could be Ismas now. Okay.
No, we're seeing a give up.
Alright, Birdie picking up the Shade Cloak. As Vex picks up Sprint Master.
Can I just pop in for a second? I'd just like to remind everybody about our fundraiser today. We're raising money for the ACLU, an incredible organization fighting hard to protect LGBTQ+ rights in America. You can donate using the link in the pinned message in chat or the link that is now in chat. And if you use the hashtag GivingGrubs, your donation will be read out live on stream. Donating also enters you to win one of 13 amazing raffle prizes. So let's keep those donations coming, chat, and keep the hype up per Spurko. Thanks.
So Vex not stopping by Grubfather at all, which is surprising, and I would argue a mistake here. Just given that you're coming through this part of Crossroads anyway, you've already signaled that you're planning on getting more Geo by picking up the Dung Defender Idol. You might as well.
21... Oops, sorry.
You might as well take that extra Geo, and you're not really losing time by doing so, because Grubfather needs to throw those rewards out anyways.
Yeah. Also, Vex has 21 grubs, which is like the amount that 107 first visits Grubfather with. So I thought it was a sign, and instead he robbed me of my chance to make that connection and seem really wise. I think that, yeah, kind of what you were saying, it feels bad in the moment because you're just standing there for a minute, but it's a minute you are going to have to stand there later. There's no gear you can get that's going to speed up Grubfather throwing things at you. Looks like we're going to see him just go back to it now. Clearly, Vex is just listening to the stream for our backseat routing. Never mind.
Good.
Oh, this will be Legita. Okay, getting that right.
I assume this is why Vex was going for Ismas earlier. Because that would make going back here faster. Vex for getting QOL. Although those are some sick cycle drops. I will say that much.
They're a lot cooler when you don't hardfall at the end, but yeah.
Vex did not get Ismas. Vex went for the spike tunnel, missed, and ended up on 1 HP without any soul to heal, and just saved quit out. And Birdie getting their first charm.
I imagine we'll see a bit of a Birdie and Vex kind of just getting a bunch of charms each, and then probably slowing up around Green Wilder briefly, depending on how much essence everyone's at. Actually, no, I think we're on like...
We both of them have at least 600 from Galeon Lostkin. So we're not even going to see a slowdown there. Our first slowdown is probably going to be the... Goodness.
Oh, I know why they didn't do Grubfather, because Grub Song's 10, and that's relatively soon. Like, there's not many other shopping slowdowns, and it just saves an extra trip to Grubfather.
I mean, Grubfather throws out the rewards for 11, 12, 13, even if you don't pick up the Grub Song. So you can just leave it sitting there.
Yeah, but then you still need to walk back to Grubfather that extra time.
That is true. It doesn't feel great.
Yeah, but you were there anyway, actually. I don't know, I think it makes it kind of interchangeable, as long as he doesn't have to do an extra lemon cell between now and then, which he shouldn't. He's fine on money.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. Purely because of that's where Grub Song is. Alright, 701 essence from Vex, so that'll be Dream Gate pretty easy with like one more thing.
Alright, Vex going to be summoning the troop while we're here. Makes sense. That Cyclone did not make sense.
Well, if you could, it breaks both of them.
I was about to say a little bit of a skill issue there. Well, yeah, I suppose the Cyclone slash made sense.
I think Vex is just gotta stop doing wiggles. I assume it's your movement hand is the one with the sore wrist.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, you know what? That's fair. I'll allow it this time.
Do you know how recently you switched to keyboard? Because
I'm
assuming the wrist issues are a latent controller skill issue. If not, then it doesn't suit the agenda, so I will ignore that information.
I will not ignore that information. Because anytime I play on keyboard, play some other game for an extended period of time that requires just intensive inputs, my hands are hurting afterwards.
Skill issue. I'd just be better. It's so shrimpable.
To answer the question in chat, no, Grimchild does not need to be upgraded. You just need to have it so it's in your charm menu. Did Vex pick up Dream Shield and we all missed it? I think that's probably the case.
I assume so. Otherwise, Vex disqualified. 8 charms. 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Vex has come to the light side. You love to see it.
I'm just shaking my head over here.
It's better. You can't do 2 finger jumps on controller, QED.
You also don't need a mod to make controller playable.
I mean, you don't need a mod to make keyboard playable.
Then what's SOCD? SOCD is a different program, right?
Yeah. But also, like...
Okay, you don't need an external program to make keyboard playable.
Steam input mapping, bind A, analog left, bind D, D-pad right. It's the same thing. It's just annoying. I would argue that non-SOCD keyboard is still better than controller by a fair margin anyway.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
Because there's no argument to be had, I'm just right.
Vex got Shaman Stone while we were arguing, and is getting Dreamwielder now. Some controller players do. I personally don't, but I have thought about it.
I know a few people who only do it for the, like, really hard fireball skips, but it's... I prefer not to speak. I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Alright. There's Stalwart Shell.
Okay, so now we're going to see some grubs. And then we're going to be right back at a Zelda for that. And then we're going to do some little movement for Dash Master. And then our future movement is going to be nicer.
Alright. See, Birdie is also going for the spike tunnel here. Probably a little too high. Okay, got it.
Birdie officially better than Vex.
I mean, I can't argue that.
Yeah.
Birdie got the trick and Vex didn't.
Yeah.
Bapanada.
Alright, Vex now through Compass.
Yep, and then, yeah, is this faster from here or from Queen Station, do you think?
Dash Master, you mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely faster from Queen Station, because you have the lever opened.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's also a lot less dangerous.
It is indeed quite a bit less dangerous.
But we get to see Vex redeem himself on these cyclones. Never mind.
Nope. No redemption. No redemption for Vex.
I was wondering if we're going to see a Fragile Heart bench to, like, setting it right up by benching at Leg Eater. And then I could almost see, like, that. But no.
So Birdie is doing reverse waterways right now.
Oh. It's Elder Who.
Vex going in for Pancake Man.
Oh wait, 30. Yeah, reverse waterways was not my pick, but I assume that was an Ismas. Yeah, my bad. So then we may end up just doing the Spike Tunnel again after Tongue Defender.
Birdie did get Ismas. Birdie got Ismas first.
Oh, true. Never mind. Birdie's the goat. Way ahead of me.
Vex getting some nice early control off of Elder Who.
Vex trying to do a fire
Birdie,
explosion.
don't die here.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, we're so back. Yeah, smart playing it safe there. Now and then. Dying anyway.
Yeah. Alright, there's Defender's Crest for Birdie. Vex opening up the way to Mantis Lords. And going to grab our Dashmaster here. I don't know if Vex picked up the Mask Shard from Grub-Father.
I think... surely.
Because Vex picked up the one at Queen Station. And getting an extra mask here is very much a reasonable play for having more masks from that Joni's Blessing.
To give you a chance to redeem yourself for your takes on controller, what is your least favorite Dream Warrior?
Least favorite Dream Warrior. Okay, least favorite for me is definitely different than hardest. I will say that first off. Probably No Eyes for me.
Hell yeah, let's go. I knew there was a good take in there somewhere.
We're all allowed to have our occasional wrong takes, okay?
No Eyes is so bad. Yeah, let's give this boss a 35% chance to teleport on hit. This is so cool and fair, and not at all silly. Also, by the way, true ending, current patch, let's fight No Eyes with Howling Wraiths. It's so cool. Yeah, anyone who doesn't say No Eyes is a fraud.
Birdie going and getting that Fragile Strength. Vex going and cleaning up Green Path. Lower Green Path right now after Thorns. This makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I really like Birdie's routing so far. Vex's too, but like I think it's worth giving Birdie their flowers as much as they look behind. They've played the routing that they've chosen really well too. Vex is just very fast.
Yeah, Vex is just very good at this game. Not saying Birdie isn't. Vex is just very, very good.
Yeah. Clearly next time it just needs to be like cursed mask, cursed nail, cursed this, room, rando, everything that Birdie normally plays with, and they'll...
I was about to say, don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, Vex getting some friendly lack of teleports from No Eyes there.
Yep. And yeah, what a terrible boss.
Part of why I dislike No Eyes more than Elder Who is because of the arenas. Elder Who's is at least flat, level. You can pretty reasonably always get a hit in unless this stupid pancake attack is going on. No Eyes can just teleport to the complete opposite diagonal. You have to slog your way back up there.
Yeah,
and then
like, No Eyes...
you hit it and it teleports again and you cry.
Yeah, and No Eyes is bad, and it gets so much worse the faster you try and go. Whereas I feel like most other Dream Mines, they can suck casually and then you come in later and it's fine. Whereas No Eyes, even when you have full loadout, you have Shade Soul, Shaman. Cool, you fireball, and then if she teleports out of your doubles, then sucks to suck. You're now still chasing her around with a nail anyway. Whereas full damage Elder Who is just cool. The little pancake man is dead.
Alright, Birdie going up for Joni's Blessing. Vex has just finished that lower green path cleanup. And Vex is getting that Dream Gate.
Do we know how many notches Vex has? Just if he has 5, I expect we'll see a Shaman Dash Master for basically the rest of the run. What's the May problem? What? Well, no, I said Tim hadn't randoed in 2 years, he said, and so we were boomers. Or washed. Yeah, boomers in that he hadn't played rando in 2 years.
I was about to say, you don't have to be a boomer to be washed. Is Birdie just going to break this open? SMH, Birdie, go around the long way. I don't care about you showing off the major glitch, but go around the long way.
I didn't see anything. Alright, and that is a heart for Vex. And then it's time for another heart, the Lifeblood version.
Yep.
Which will be, if Vex only has 4 notches, I imagine this is where we'll see him buy a 5th as well. Just like saying, Shaman Dash Master is the best 2-charm combo for this category.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Vex buy 2. So you can have Shaman, Dash Master, Dream Wielder, and just never worry about charms the entire rest of the seat.
Yeah, has he used Dream Gate enough to really... well, he's not doing any of that.
Nope.
Yeah. 5 also means that for King Soul you're not overcharmed, and that if you want to overcharm something later, like flukes, for example, you have the room to have those 2 and something else.
Vex says I allowed it. Verb is cool. Okay, I agree with the second one. But also, you don't get to decide everything here.
And when you switch to keyboard, you're allowed to decide everything. That's how it works.
Nope. I am digging my head in the sand. I am going to do everything I can to tune that out.
I mean, that's kind of how controller defending works, yeah. For Twitch Tappy in chat, it is left to right, top to bottom. So, like how you would read, basically. So it goes from Sharp Shadow across to Dreamwielder, and then Stalwart Shell, then across to Gathering Swarm, etc. It's not like a snake order or anything.
Yep, left to right, then top to bottom.
And yeah, the circle's on the charm that they just got. So they're then working on doing the next one. So Vex at the moment, being orange, is working on getting Weaver Song, and then Birdie, being blue, is working on Dreamwielder.
Did Vex ever get the Nos Grub? I would assume so.
Surely. But that's so orange.
Alright, Birdie going to be getting Dreamwheeler and Dreamgate at the same time here.
And Vex making good use of the Cure Well there to hit that grub through the floor.
Alright, it looks like Vex is going to be cleaning up Dark Deep Nest here. Makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Vex take this opportunity to clean up Queen's Gardens as well. Or at least get to the Queen's Gardens stag.
Yeah, for sure. Because Queen Fragment isn't a charm, you can do it whenever as well. You just have to get King Soul its designated spot. So you can, yeah, just do it whenever you want. Depending on how much damage Vex plans on getting, it could be worth doing now. But setting up for it, at least with the stag, is basically always worth.
Yeah. Especially given that we're doing Marmu.
Yeah.
If we were...
Nope, never mind. Vex is not doing any of that.
It makes sense with the quit out.
Do we know where his Dreamgate is? Just putting one outside, like, the big room near the top of that would have worked fine. But
I do not know.
Way, there's Gathering Swarm, and then this is going to be a trip to Crypts, I imagine. Yep.
Birdie going to get Dash Master. taking the better route here and going from Queen Station. You have the lever, you might as well use it.
And that is 30 grubs for Vex. So getting there. Yeah, like I say, this seed was just so front-loaded on needing to get all of the progression and stuff that we're just zooming through it now. It took us like an hour to get our first charm, and now we're like halfway through in
half an hour later. Yeah, we've gotten the next 17 or 18 charms. Alright, where is... Okay, Vex is headed to do 0. Vex has finished bullying 0 into oblivion.
Took a long time.
Birdie has Dash Master now.
Also, 1100 essence to Vex.
I assume Vex has picked up... Yeah, Vex picked up Soul Eater and Gathering Swarm.
Yeah, yep. At Rio. Thank you. What a great restreamer. It's like a 5-second turnaround. She just knew.
Alright, so let's see if Birdie also cleans up Lower Green Path here. Looks like it. Imagine not using Dash Master Sharp Shatter right now. This is why Nebula is better than everyone else.
Wait, Nebula, did you sleep? Or you just, like, have been here the whole time? Oh, stream having a little hiccup there, but we appear to be so bad.
No, not yet. Just about to go to bed. Okay.
What time is it? Actually, this isn't even that bad for you, right? It's only like 3 a.m. 11 p.m. Oh my god, this is like... You feeling okay, Nebby? This is dangerously functional for you. Oh, 2 a.m. Okay, that's more
Okay.
like it.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know what time zone Nebula's in, so...
Yeah, I think if Nebula went to bed at 11 p.m., we've got a big problem.
Birdie going and doing Terrible Dream Warrior.
Yeah, unfortunately did not get the doubles. Oh, there we go.
Did get a
Blessed
double
her.
there to finish it off, though. Alright, Vex going and picking up Glowing Womb.
Yo, macaroni. Hi.
I assume that we're going to see a little bit of slowdown here with the Lifeblood Core not Sharp Shadow, my goodness, Spore Shroom King Soul combo coming up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as soon as this is done, I'm having breakfast.
Vex doing failed champ here. Nope. Nope. I'm done.
You're done?
No. I'm just kidding. I am being a little trolly to Vex because he killed the maggot.
Oh. What's wrong with a little maggot killing between friends or foes? Okay, there is something a little wrong with the maggot killing if you die to failed champ, but we're past first phase now, so we should, yeah, and he's healing up. What a nerd.
I was about to say, how dare you kill my kin?
I'm not gonna commit to that bit, actually.
That was not what I said, Tim. It was close, but it was not what I said.
Tori Macaroni, we'll just tell them to lock in and we'll be done in 25 minutes. God. Good thing Vex identified that Shade Soul was too early there.
Yeah, that would have been a bad time. Alright, Birdie going and getting Grimchild. Vex is going to be getting that last Fragile Charm. And after that, I expect to see a bit of a slowdown, as Vex is going to be hunting for some lifeblood.
Yeah, it's 5, 7, 13. So yeah, he probably wants to get a 2 mask. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Green Path Lifeblood, and then if my math is correct, Green Path Lifeblood, Joni's Hardcore is enough. But wouldn't have the notches for it, right? 5, you'd need 6 notches to equip them all. Then we might.
You need 5.
Lifeblood.
You need 5 for heart.
Hardcore
for
Joni.
both hearts. Well, we're getting core.
Oh,
okay,
right.
Vex,
Yeah,
Vex getting the extra mask. So with this, you don't. I don't believe you have to get any extra lifeblood with this charm combo.
That's it.
14. Okay, we need one more.
Getting the KP one? Oh. I'm a Green Path Lifeblood appreciator.
I am questioning Vex's decision here as well, don't worry.
Alright, and now we don't get hit.
Yeah, shouts to Rhea for restreaming this, by the way, at past 2 o'clock in the morning. I would not do this. I can do commentary at 2 o'clock in the morning. I cannot do restreaming at 2 o'clock in the morning. No, Joni, no one has even really done QG yet.
Vex spoiling us. Okay, so 9 masks, and then he's decided to stop spoiling us, thank God. I'm not sure what comes after 9, honestly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Oh my God, it's 10. 11? 12? 13? 14? Oh my God, this is unforeseen stuff. This is peak content here. And Vex not taking a second after the door opened. And then going straight into the spike.
That's not how you do the movement for that room, Vex. I hate to inform you, but that's not how you do the movement for that room.
Oh my God. Alright, no Arcane Egg, so he's confident in his Geo. Which tells me he's probably not planning any nail upgrades, which isn't much of a surprise. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like with the notches and that you need to buy, the egg is like kind of worth if you're going back to Lemothy at all. Actually, I guess I have grub money, because he ignored most of it.
Alright, Birdie is getting Love Key here. I do not believe Vex has done this.
I don't think so. I don't think Vex has been that far into QG at all, yeah.
Yeah, so Birdie is doing what I said Vex might do earlier, and that's just keep going in QG after this Weaver song.
Yeah. I think the that Birdie's done a really good job of getting those grubs, like, and routing those in. I think Vex has probably had the slightly better charm routing, but Birdie's grub routing's been really good.
Hitless run over, Vex got hit. I can assure you that is not the first time that Vex has gotten hit. Bullying each other is how this community shows affection. It's very strange. You can't deny it, though.
Yeah, I can. It's just blatantly lying if I deny it.
I was on vacation for like a week before this with some family, and I was like, oh, this is how I learned to make friends and show affection through bullying each other.
I mean, can't relate. I'm just nice to everyone, but it's nice that it works for the rest of the community.
Yes, because you're definitely nice to controller mains.
Well, they did that to themselves.
I'm sorry, I wasn't the one making those comments about controller players.
Yeah, they did that to themselves. Like, if they just chose a better input method, then that critique, that valid critique, wouldn't apply to anyone. True, I am the nicest.
True, Syrah.
Kaido's not bullyable, here's my quote.
And you're saying that it's not possible for both to be true?
Probably, but like, he ran 1-2-2-1 in E% after finally persuading him to, so he's in my good graces.
Hmm. Alright, Birdie is doing Trader Lord here.
Yep, D-Dark probably going to come in clutch a lot here. Just such a
Yeah.
good spell for this fight. You can get Shade Soul doubles, but like, they're not that easy, and D-Dark like just trivializes basically every attack, and you get full damage like every time because he's so big-bodied. Okay, Tim, we don't have Shriek. I would also take a Lamborghini over my car, but like, I don't have a Lamborghini, so the comparison is not helpful.
Yeah.
True, flukes are better.
Am I a villain for killing
have, like,
Mila?
No. Everyone loves killing Milo.
I'm not even going to... No comment. I'm not even going... I don't have a response for this.
I mean, I assume you're also an avid Milo killer.
If I was, I would have a response for this.
It's fine, like... We wouldn't expect
Exactly,
any different
Chris!
from a controller player.
You do have to care about things other than going fast sometimes.
Yeah. Killing Mila isn't for speed, it's for sending a message. Alright, love key time. Why did Vex get Ismas for this? This is denying his content.
For shame.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Collector Percent, the hypothetical category where you do Claw Cloak, Fireball, Love Key skip. After doing Reverse Dark, Deepness, up to QG.
See, this is why your opinions are just wrong. That's an atrocity.
Yeah, I hate it, but like, I found the Love Key skip and I'm like, what would use this? I need to make people do it. But I actually prefer the Love Key skip to the Reverse Dark Deep Nest, or the Collector fight. So I never ran it.
Birdie is now up to 35 grubs. Okay, Vex finally going into QG.
Also, Tim making the point of just do the more cursed skip. Which, yeah, if you want to run the category, go nuts. The moral of the story is do a Love Key Acid skip because they're cool. And Vex trivializing that second arena there. It is pretty rough. It's probably the hardest arena in the game. It's not probably, it is the hardest arena in the game. But with that damage and just knowledge of the waves, making it look pretty easy. Did he leave too quick?
We're gonna find out soon.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter too much if he did. Assuming he doesn't die to frogs.
Yeah.
If he did it and does die to frogs, he's gonna have a bad time.
Hmm. He's a keyboard player, he won't die to frogs.
Because that has so much to do with whether or not you use controller or keyboard.
Yo, yeah, because if you use keyboard, you can dodge the frogs.
Yes, you can definitely dodge them while C-dashing.
Yeah! You just lock in.
Vex with a very clean Marmu, by the way.
Yeah, that was really good. Alright, moment of truth. Let's find out. Okay,
it was not too quick.
Hell yeah.
You'll have to take May's tip on frogs? Well, you see, May's had a spotty record so far on takes, so...
I don't know. I agree with all of my takes.
Okay, Birdie getting Mark of Pride. And we are within a couple charms of each other.
Yeah, I think next year we need a Salubra's Blessing random charm order, but next year it's going to be the me versus Mercer grub match with Birdie and Vex coming.
I would be prepared to lose.
Alright, and we're gonna see a Trader Lord from Vex coming up in a sec.
Okay. Thank you, Oat, for pinning the message that's actually supposed to be pinned.
I thought you could have 2 pinned messages. My bad. Alright. And Birdie doing Glowing Loom here. Before I was disrupted by my co-commentator. Glowing Gorgon, yo, I didn't realize that some of the charm names were changed with the Zagnite as well.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of changes with the Zagnite skin.
Yeah, I think I messed up installing it, so I only got the custom night stuff, not the custom night plus stuff.
Hmm.
I'm learning what competence can do for you.
Yeah, you've got Megchild for Grimchild, you've got Boldy Song for Reaver Song. Those are the ones that I can remember off the top of my head.
Alright, and very quick work of Trader Lord there from Vex. and failed champ now from Birdie. Birdie does have that 5 health. So hopefully phase 1 goes smoothly. They've dumped... Okay, yeah, they have Dream Wielder then.
Yeah.
So this should be pretty smooth. Yeah, 2 really nice doubles at the end there. This is one of the fights where I can really see, like, players have gotten so much better over the years. Like, failed champ used to be a much bigger struggle even for, like, a lot of rando players. Whereas I feel like people these days are pretty comfortable with, like, getting double hits with Shade Soul and stuff during the fight,
Yeah.
not just the tantrum.
Birdie taking a safety healer too, makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as they're able to stagger lock in the tantrums, we should be fine. Alright. Okay. Alright, so not quite getting the triples there, but
Yeah.
that's still a big chunk of damage. 1 or 2 more Dream Nails, and that'll be enough soul to end the fight. Alright, that's a good pattern. Yep, alright. 1 more. No, I can't count. There we go.
Alright, Vex going for Collector, not doing the Scream skip, SMH my head.
No Scream skip, no flukes. Just sucks.
I mean, we can't blame the runners for the flukes.
I mean, you could do Collector later, but also I just meant, like, yeah, it sucks to have to do it without the flukes. Because it just speeds it up so much. Like, flukes or Shriek. Shade Soul is good for a comfy fight, though, as is V-Dark. Like, Shade Soul being able to just clear out the ads and damage Collector for a decent amount is really nice, and then V-Dark is a nice get-off-me button. Yeah. All the cool kids do the claw C-dash only Collector Scream skip. Don't need dash. Alright, good fight so far.
Vex saying, "Where's my flukes?" Sounds like
That's
someone
pretty
needs.
hell, yeah.
Sounds like someone needs to run Elegy percent.
And Birdie is grabbing his last Fragile Charm here. Yep. And then they're going to see the Lifeblood Core, which will be a bit interesting, seeing as I don't think Birdie has gotten the extra Mars shards. So I'm not sure if they might need a second Lifeblood Cocoon or to get the Galleon one in particular. Or one of the 3s in general.
Autopilot Lifeblood is the fastest of the 3 Lifebloods.
And yep, Birdie's identified that. The grub saved is accurate, Tim.
How many grubs got saved during the Plando?
Oh.
Only 92.
Only 46, yeah.
How many mimics is a different question.
Yeah, mimics aren't counted, otherwise we would be in the, like, hundreds just in that.
Alright,
yeah, it
Vex.
was 46 with Mantis Claw at 50.
Vex handling Markov nice and easy with this loadout.
And that is 1800 Essence. Brilliant. Also, has Vex done, like, used a single Dream Gate this seed? Because he still has 1801, which I think is the one he got from Jody.
I haven't paid attention, honestly. I don't remember ever seeing Vex use one. Ah, that's right. Vex has a Dream Gate at Salubra. Thank you, chat.
Well, that'll come in handy soon.
Yeah.
Is that a hit from Birdie? I think so, so we're gonna have to reload.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
getting the
oh, because
green
got hit
half-life
down
one.
2, so get 2. Yep. Smart.
Yeah, just a quick pivot here.
Yeah, big brain, honestly. I would not have thought of that. I would have just done the same thing again.
It's much comfier to grab this than it is to grab the Queen Station Lifeblood, the autopilot Lifeblood. I can tell you that much.
For sure. Alright, we gotta see White Palace from Vex here. Oh, God. And gets the C-Dash and gets the gambling. You'll have to see it. Unfortunately, Vex forgot to equip movement charms. And it would have been nice to see a Sharp Shadow as well. But he may not be as comfy with that, for especially like with QOL cycles. I find White Palace is like kind of harder with QOL because you're so used to the like actual cycles, and then especially for like left atrium kind of owns you. Like left atrium 2 with QOL is just so bad. Yeah. Yet another good take from Nebula. What is this? And it's like
QOL cycles being bad, I do agree with.
yeah. Oh! Jane Anno with the $115, bringing us to 3,700 total raise. Absolutely massive. And bringing it to a nice round number, which is always nice. Alright.
BRB donating exactly $1.01.
No, you should just make it an even rounder number. Donate $300. Or get yourself and 299 friends to donate $1.
Just popping in here to read the message that goes with that donation quickly. Thanks again to Jay for $115, bringing us up to an even 3,700 with the message, thank you to all the runners, comms, and especially hashtag Giving Grubs event organizers. Thanks very much, Jay.
If you think QOL cycles are bad, it just means you need to play more rando. I don't think that's what it means, A-Press.
Yeah, look, I'm not playing more rando. I show up twice a year, do my funny little flando, suffer, and then that's it. Yeah, well, every year after it, I did sign up for it, so... I also learnt to temper my expectations. I learnt that it's not about, like, playing super well. It's about the experience of, like, suffering and giving commentators a lot to talk about. This has been a pretty clean palace from Vex so far. I think he was a true ending. If not, I mean, like, players these days just can do palace very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Vex gives me TE vibes. Speaking of May and... Oh, never mind, you go.
Already finishing off Markoth there. That's the 1800 essence. So, after all this, we're only about a White Palace separating the two. White Palace and a few grubs.
Yeah, I think the speed of which a lot of those charms in the first two rows were obtained really made it look like the gap was a lot bigger than it was, but Birdie's right in there, and any other hiccups from Vex, and you're going to see a scruffy White Palace incident? I'm manifesting it? No. No.
Birdie, you need to get the Awoken Dream Nail first.
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
I know you have. I know. I said that you have enough essence to. That doesn't mean that you automatically get it. And Vex falling off the elevator?
Hell yeah. Nebula, you should do the Puzzle Night TE. I hear that's a really nice beginner-friendly one. Right, and there's the work nail for Birdie.
Right as Vex picks up King Soul.
Yep, so like I said, about a palace and You can race me in Puzzle Night to your ending, Navi. Alright, and we're gonna see a... Yep, there's the quick focus. And then... Wait, what? Did I not just see Vex outside Salute? Oh, getting there because it's a quicker stag, yeah.
Yeah, and Dreamgate. Vex going now to get Fury.
Yep. And then his favorite charm. This is actually really good routing, keeping that White Palace hard save there.
Yeah.
It's like deceptively good because you've got the stag right there, it's right near this. And yeah, this works really well. Instead of the boulder shell, which we'll do from a stag, probably green path, and then deep focus. Again. Alright, we're on the home stretch.
Yeah. Yeah, once you have King Soul, it's really the home stretch.
Yeah. This ball sucks. Very valid dunk from Vex there.
Alright, Vex is going to Hive. Surely Vex will take no damage here, because, as he says, it is consistent every time.
Vex is such a Hive Blood runner. He's done none of the Cyclones. He's just doing the Hive Blood, like, Fireball is my only way of breaking these quickly. Okay,
that was actually pretty slick, dashing over that guy.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could fit over.
And next jumped right into a drill bee.
Yeah, but it put him where he needed to be, so kind of gaming. Also, not doing the cool kid strat, the scrub. Terrible.
And another hit. And almost taking a double there. That was extremely close. Birdie's struggling a little bit with this right atrium skip. Just make me eat my words, I guess.
This is another boss where it's like, damn, I wish I had books right about now.
You'll get your fluke soon enough. Right after we finished all of the bosses already.
Right, yeah, exactly. What do we even have to fight with flukes?
Oh, absolutely nothing.
Alright, and Birdie on her way. She's up the balcony. I think we'll see them make pretty quick work of this. It's been a good palace from both runners.
Yeah.
My fault, my fault. That's on me. That wasn't Birdie messing up. That was me cursing them.
Vex going and getting these couple of grubs that are tram locked.
Yep, so there's these, and then maybe an edge grub. Oh yeah, there'd be the edge grub with quick slash. Who's to say, honestly? And then waterways grubs.
Birdie, don't die here.
Oh no.
It's not good for your health.
You weren't meant to have the scruffy white palace incident. Alright. Yeah, there we go.
It's a little content for you. You call it scaring the bejesus out of your commentator's content, then sure.
Man of the people, you know. Giving them what they want.
Alright, that's Grub 43 for Vex. I believe going to get the Boulder Shell one here with Boulder Shell. And there's the boulder shell. Right, Birdie going and getting Fury. Vex going the other way in Dirtmouth. Realizing, wait, I haven't opened the elevator. And you need to go the other way for that.
Just do a trigger. With no soul.
And no Shriek.
Yeah, minor technicality. Just do a wall cling storage with no major glitches. And Birdie getting most of the waiting game out of the way now.
Yeah, finishing up with that Geo collection.
Yeah, so Vex will, on paper, take a small lead here. Just with that Geo collection time.
And Vex is now down to 1 grub remaining, by the way.
Yeah. Any idea what that is? Oh wait,
I don't.
Crush, yeah.
I'm like, I don't remember. I haven't been paying enough attention to that.
Ooh. Clearly, Vex does not know the Zaliant deep focus optimizations.
Grub number 36 for Birdie.
Is Birdie getting a charm knot? I think.
You do need... Oh. Birdie climbing back up this way. I'm not sure why.
Not for a charm notch.
Oh, did Birdie miss this grub?
Yep. Right, and now we're getting Luke's. Yep, so to answer the question from chat, the order that, so the box you see on the bottom left there, that is a, as you would read it, so left to right, top to bottom order that's been randomly generated, and that's the order that you have to collect the charms in. So it's a vanilla game, but then yeah, getting the charms in that specific order. And obviously the generator has logic to make sure that you don't get an impossible charm order, you know, you don't get like King Soul before Dream Order.
Yep.
Mom entry from there. Nice. You can just stay defense, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, 4 flute flyers got to spawn and he killed none of them. But we're fine.
But they all went around in a circle and didn't bother Vex because he was picking up the charm, so...
Yeah, I want to know how much he paid those flute flyers.
Alright, buying Longnail. Buying these 2 charm notches. And now Salubra's Blessing shows up in the shop because all those charm notches have been purchased.
Yep. And we're going to see a quick slash. The entire internal grub there from Birdie. It's so weird seeing, like, going to Hive Night and not doing the Mars Shard.
It does feel a little weird from my rando brain.
As they say. Pretty good Hive Night so far from Birdie.
Yeah.
Can see a lot more of the D-Dark use than Vex had going on. Just obviously Birdie's experience with Hive Night being more tied to Rando rather than Hive Blood percent, so much more comfortable with D-Dark than Shade Soul and making very good use of it, very quick work, and only getting hit twice, which is great.
And Vex missing the Great Slash, but does pick up grub number 46.
Yep, and does he know the cool movement in this next room? No, this is so sad.
I was about to say, this does not look like cool movement to me.
The slander. And Vex now going to unequip Isma's tier.
I think Birdie forgot the Boulder Shell grub.
Oh no.
That, they got
Sad.
it the first time in Cliffs.
Fingers crossed, otherwise we might be in for a bit of pain, especially if they don't grab Collector's Mat. Because you have to clear areas in such a weird, like, double and triple visiting kind of way, I find this is one of the formats where it's probably the easiest to forget grubs as well.
Yeah, it's extremely easy to miss grubs if you're going to areas several times. And you're like, oh, I'll just get it the next time I'm here. And then you're there the next time, and then you forget that you haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you realize when you go to Grubfather and there's a spot open.
So true, Nebula. Alright, relatively clean deep focus there. Taking the hit on the first section, but actually lining the cycles up for the second and third section really nicely.
Birdie getting that deep focus, dream gating back to Salubra, I imagine.
Yep, and let's see a quick little jump up here, yep. And this is the Twister, and then next, very much on the home stretch.
Yep. After this, Vex just
Birdie
needs
is
to
gonna
go.
need
to Grubfather and wait a little bit.
Yep. Birdie is going to need a little more money, but I think Grubfather will about cover it.
Yeah.
It's just a case of ideally want to save as many grubs as you can before you visit Grubfather, just so you're not then having to go back again. Oh, actually, actually for all of you. So, never mind. Forget I said anything.
As it gets later and later, our commentary gets more and more deranged.
Honestly, I think mine's gotten more and more ranged compared to last time.
Mine hasn't.
I'm just glad we weren't mic'd up for the final, because we were just having fun and very little of the discussion was related to, like, the game.
May is becoming steadily more coherent, and I am becoming steadily less coherent. You know, that seems about right.
No longer, like, massively on. Alright, and Vex just doing his money collection here, gonna get his allergy, and then he is about done. Birdie getting a little bullied by the wooden sentries there, but at the same time...
Okay, making it through. Heading to Spire now.
As long as I'm not stealing Masso's takes, I'll be fine.
You would never steal my takes.
Yeah. It's like evolution, but backwards.
Alright, and that's GG's for Vex.
GG. And Birdie on the way to Flukes. Only got a few grubs left as well. And yeah, very much on the home stretch too. And kind of as we saw from King Soul, like, the gap really isn't that big. It's just that this ending run and then that starting run after Sharp Shadow were just so many quick charms back to back to back that it looks like a massive lead, and then you get to something that's a little slower, like the Lifeblood Core King Soul stretch, and it tightens right up again. Oh, going this entry. That's cool.
Alright. Birdie is heading down to Flukes. Yeah, definitely give Vex a bit of a break. We do not want Vex to break his hands. That would be bad.
Agreed. And 30, pretty clean trip to Fluke Realm there.
Birdie having a little bit of trouble here. Oh, that's a lot of flukes.
Ah.
A few too many, dare I say.
Imagine dying to Fluke Mom. couldn't be me. But yeah, also we have no nail upgrades, so if you run out of soul and then you can just end up getting bullied, so a very understandable death to take there.
Alright.
Purple.
I was just about to invite them in for interviews. And I just hear you say purple. I'm like, what? Did stream die? No, well, a stream died, just not just not the restream.
Alright, Fluke Mom run back. And very wisely, picking up soul here.
Yeah, for sure.
I love how we're saying let Vex rest his hands, and he's just booted up eyeball to practice immediately.
I suppose that's Vex for you.
Much cleaner Fluke Mom that time. And just grabbing the long nail, and then yeah, very much the final stretch here for Bernie.
Hello, runners.
Wait, what? Oh, hello?
Hello!
You could have let me know when you're dragging me by the hair like that.
We're dragging you by the hair like that, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh god, I had the stream open in the background and I just
Yeah,
hear
double.
The double.
Oh my god, my hands. My hands are not happy.
Vex,
Dude, I told you!
we keep... Everyone is yelling at you to rest your hands, and you're doing eyebalder practice.
I gotta beat Nerf somehow. Gotta
You
warm up.
don't do that by breaking your hands.
Wait, you're an
You just
eyebalder
won't
runner?
hear-
What? They
Eyebalder.
announced who the runners are? Who we totally
Wait,
never
what?
knew?
Oh, sorry. There were runners
Oh my
to
God.
be A. Runners to be A. Oh, that one. I didn't remember.
Wow. Can't believe you would leak that.
I'm sorry, I leaked the surprise.
Yeah, you leaked the surprise. No one else leaked it. Only you.
Yup, that definitely wasn't on the schedule.
Yup.
Yeah, there were.
No one
it
has
wasn't on the
definitely
schedule.
accidentally said this already today.
It's only leaking when Vex does it, otherwise it's just sparkling foreshadowing.
So, how did you feel like your runs went?
I'm happy, for my third Suburco run in 3 years since 2022. I'm happy with how it went. It
So
was,
bad. This is your third run. I'm so mad.
What? You beat me on the first run back. We had a practice run yesterday. I think Birdie beat me by like 3 minutes. I had like, I don't know, 10 deaths or something. Failed champ making up most of them. And I was like, maybe I should remember how to do triples.
Yeah, that might help.
Yeah, it definitely helped. But yeah, the order was honestly, it was something. We were discussing like what to do and stuff like that. I was thinking of doing slope ball into basin. Then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna I don't know what my hands are gonna do. Let's just get C dash. We can do AC and skip. And then that's about all the content that I did. I did do dash/spike tunnel. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think it was one of those seeds where the early sharp shadow just means that you have to get so much progression anyway that there's not really much reward to doing like a lot of stuff skips.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. This definitely seemed like an order where it's like, okay, you just get all of the movement first, and then just go around collecting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very much a prep-heavy seed. Like, it was almost an hour, I think, for both of us before we...
Yeah, it was like 57 minutes until I got...
I was just above an hour, but I had wings at least by that point.
Yeah, I
you
did
were
not.
saying in commentary
Well, no, I did.
that the first charm took an hour, and then the rest of the first 2 rows took half of that.
Yeah.
Also, getting flukes 3 charms after the last boss fight was a bit rough.
Listen, I'm so glad we had late flukes. I know this isn't a popular opinion, but I fucking hate fighting. Oh shoot, I grubbing hate fighting when I don't have equipment, and having shaman is exactly what I need.
Mods.
I was about
on my stream.
Apparently, it wasn't enough.
Dude, the first one I just got swamped, and then the second one was like picture perfect.
Yeah, you could definitely get swamped when, like, if you don't make sure those guys stayed cleaned up, you can get swamped very easily.
Oh my god.
I don't know,
But
I'm still...
This was super, super fun. I enjoy this. Everyone please go Spurco. Please, everyone go Spurco. It's so much
True.
fun. If I can Spurco, you can Spurco. That's how I like to think of it as. I mean, realistically!
No, it's fun, it's fun.
Yeah, and ultimately, like, it doesn't have to be done as a race. It could just be a solo thing you do for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can beat your friends.
It is a lot more fun with friends, I will say. Birdie and I enjoyed ourselves in VC.
We were cackling in VC this entire
Yeah.
run. I had comms open so I could hear what you were saying, and I would just like relay it back to Vex.
Yeah, because I didn't have stream audio.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but it's super fun. Everyone should Spurco. Please give me 2 seconds so I can just finish really, really quickly. I promise I'll be quickly. I promise I'll be quick. Just let me finish, please.
It's fine,
Yeah,
I'm already
yeah.
You're almost done.
Sly has heavy blow. I don't know why I used my Jungate.
Oh, apparently you're only on what charm is that? That's un? Damn.
No, I got on.
The tracker doesn't say so,
It's
I must have
okay.
forgotten it.
Rhea is doing a fantastic job. Rhea's doing a fantastic job.
No, I think you
Don't
just
give her
forgot
credit.
I think you forgot
Yeah.
Vex is reading the tracker wrong. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, the
okay.
circle is the one you have obtained.
I had to actually stop and check to make sure I was so confused. Oh my god. Alright.
Yeah, you do have
the
yeah.
fastest way to do this, but I don't care. I was so nervous.
Oh, the tracker. Oh, you were just doing all the grubs. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Spreading misinformation. My bad. You caught me. You get to laugh at me. All right. This is your one chance. Okay.
Point and laugh.
Everyone,
Point and laugh.
Point and laugh.
When is round percent random boss order?
I mean, you'd have to make logic for that because
I'd have to make logic for that because I can't have like Tyrant before Soulmaster.
At the Math Geek.
When KRLO? What's KRLO? What is this? What are these words you
Wrong
speak
random
in me?
lever order, I think.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Lever order? Ooh, that'd be fun. When is snail percent random charm order? Wait, that one could be really fun actually. If we just Spurco, if we use the Spurco generator, but then we just forget all the charms that are not in Pure Snail, genius. Genius. Oh my gosh. I think after this though, my big plan is I want to try doing SBRCO, P5BO, RGO.
Oh no.
I love how you're like, oh, y'all are cursed, and then you just hit us with that.
Yeah.
Cursed. I'm just, I don't know, it's comfortable. Maybe that's cursed to say, but it's comfortable.
Yeah, I think next year we just need to add like curse mask, curse nail, curse this, curse that, curse directions, and then you'll absolutely wipe the floor with anyone because that's just your natural habitat.
That is my natural habitat. I guarantee you though, we have some absolutely fantastic rando people who would crush me.
Yeah, I mean that's more because oh my god, kids these days rather than anything else.
Rando mentioned? Rando? Thank you for Rando. Yo, I have the absolute perfect amount of Geo. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't buy any of the
GG. Mwah.
GG's.
GG's.
Oh, GG. I got below 240. I'll take that. 240 is good.
I set my goal to be under 230, and then I would be happy.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you know about that.
Yeah. Small thank you to our commentators. You guys were lovely, and you entertained not only me but all of chat during this run. I'll
have to watch it back.
Yeah, thank you, Vex, for signing on to make this a race sort of close to date, so it wasn't just me kind of running by myself. I was super glad to have a partner. Thanks to our organizers and thanks to everyone who's donated. You guys are awesome.
Woo.
And
Yeah, we raised a bunch.
Comms, do you have a favorite grub? I hear you haven't actually told us yet what your favorite grub is.
The crown grub. I really like the strat for it in 107 where you do the inventory knockback cancel.
Might be one of my least favorite grubs. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, May.
Yeah, it's a Stockholm syndrome kind of grub.
Well, Vex, you're outvoted because that is also my favorite grub is crown grub. RGO race.
We did it. We found a good Maso take.
It only took like 3 hours.
Yeah. No, wait. You also are a No Eyes hater, so we found a second good Maso take.
True. Vex, what's your favorite grub?
It's a hard choice. I have to think.
You don't have time to
The
think.
middle collector grub.
Okay. That is an
All right.
interesting choice, but I respect it.
Listen, sometimes you know how the middle child syndrome, right? The middle child is often neglected. You gotta
Yes.
represent the middle children sometimes. Okay.
I just have to say I'm surprised it's not hive grub.
Okay, we gotta call it, guys.
No, I don't like that.
We gotta
Yeah.
call it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and stay tuned for some eye boulder content coming up.
Yeah.
What's that?